Hello Capricorn. I'm very sorry that your reading is late, but we are going to get started. There's a lot going on for May, and we have a lot to talk about, so we're going to go right in. I'm just going to move your oracle cards first, and then we are going to get started. Okay, so root chakra, we have the Magician. Sacral chakra, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Solar plexus, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Heart chakra, we have the Four of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Wands. Throat chakra, we have the Empress. Third eye, we have the Nine of Wands. And for the crown chakra, we have the Fool and Justice. Now, for your oracle cards, you have Go Now, Priorities, and Peace Offering, Deep Freeze and Moonlight, High Priestess and Focused Intention. For your planetary energies, you have Leo, Venus, and Mars. And for your messages from Set, from the Isis Oracle, you have Enter the Chamber of Healing and Pillar of Light. Okay, I'm just going to hold it there so you can read it for a second. Okay, so what is going on? Well, first off, there's kind of this amplifying energy because you guys are still very much being affected by a Jupiter. And I say you guys like I am not speaking of myself as well. But there is kind of this huge emphasis on it's like a highlight, and this is why the Leo energy is kind of coming up the way it's coming out. It's not coming out in like this it is definitely showy, but it's mainly that we are being amplified. Our energy is being amplified because we rule the government. We also and that's such a big issue all over the world right now. Our energy is being magnified, so there is kind of a lot of focus on that, and a lot of focus on our energy, and Jupiter's doing what he does to magnify and expand our energy in that way. So there is like this huge kind of, it's almost like an extensive Capricornian energy for this month, specifically. For your root chakra with the Magician here, there's a lot of communication and messages and things that are coming to pass, intentions that are being set, and I do see that in the root chakra. This month specifically, we are intuitively setting intentions, and there's still goals and things in place that we want to work towards and are still in the process of developing and seeing where those intentions take us. But we definitely still, you guys know that we do that thing where we set a goal, whether that was last year or the year before that, or 5 years ago, and we're still working towards it. We are still in the process of holding on to our priorities and trying to ground ourselves the best we can. Our solar plexus, being the Knight of Pentacles, tells us that we're very aware that things are moving slowly, but we are still actively working towards our goals, towards our intentions, towards our finances. This is like a whole entire work in progress. Even in our sacral space, it's just like, okay, I've planted these seeds. I know exactly what I want, and I am also from my heart moving intuitively. I know this is what I need to do. So there's a lot of like clarity and focus there. And you guys got the High Priestess twice in this reading. Here and here. So there is a very intuitive movement happening, and it's all about the intention behind it all. This is what you see with the Ace of Wands, and that actively not waiting and just, this is the bottom of the deck, but intuitively moving through and kind of breaking off the stagnation, looking at the possibilities, saying, okay, well, I still want to work on this. How can I work on it now? And thinking about what we're working towards in the future so we can get to this point. This is why the throat chakra is the Empress. We are very much speaking abundance and speaking growth and prosperity right now. And honestly, with the way things are set up, there's a lot of things that I feel like a lot of Capricorns right now are going through this cycle where we're kind of being pushed to make a very lifelong decision that would kind of push us to this place. And it does have to do with being connected to the earth in a different way, the way that we experience the physical realm. Maybe you've been planning for a while to move to a different country, and now you're just like, your mind is set, you're planning dates, you're like trying to see how you can save a little bit faster, maybe you can put your stimulus check towards it, stuff like that. Like, you guys are very much like trying to rework the master plan into a way that you can kind of maybe leave a little bit faster, which I know it's something that I'm actually doing as well, so I'm not even surprised by this. But the planets and the energies are still, they're still there pushing you, and the way that like Jupiter is just kind of highlighting us, the way that it is, it's just like there is this huge abundance energy, there is this huge pushing energy, there's like this like force, there's a force, okay, there's a huge force of like, no, we got to do this now. Like, our cardinal energy is very much triggered this specific month, and we're getting kind of pushed to act, pushed to do. We're definitely not like, you know, pencil pushers where we're just not doing anything. We do like to kind of push the envelope and see how far we can take things and where we need to go and such and such. Like, we definitely are in that space mentally where we just want to move and have actions. We just need the purpose, and we already have the purpose. So now it's just all about the execution and making it happen, even though we know it's going to take a little bit of time, obviously. But for the most part, we know that we can get it done as well. Now, what else is going on within this reading, and what chakra would I say that is kind of a little bit blocked this month? We're gonna have to look at this deep freeze situation here, and this is the indirect connection to the third eye, which is a 9 of wands. And the reason why this is important, okay, oh, by the way, I forgot this intuition, because we've been talking about intuition and intention, but the reason why this is important, especially with the chamber healing as a message, is because we can see how everything that has happened has been a very traumatic experience. And to an extent, while we do feel the effects of it as well, there is a level of kind of pushing things and burying things down to kind of deal with them a little bit later. So once we do come out of this whole thing, we will be able to look back and be like, you know what, that was a really rough time and I got through it, but that whole entire thing did not feel good. I've definitely felt like, I feel like I need a vacation. I feel like I need to pull back a little bit, because that whole entire period, I felt like I couldn't use my time. Like, time was frozen within itself. I couldn't progress. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And I'm a little bit traumatized by the fact that it even happened in the first place. So there is a little bit of that trauma hiding away into the future, like as far as how you will deal with your emotions after we come out of it collectively. And this is when we need to highlight your spiritual practice and how in your self-care practice as well, because we do need to really focus on our peace and our priorities. And our peace and our emotional well-being should be a priority right now. And if it hasn't been a priority, you really do need to make it a priority, because underneath everything, there is a lot of emotion. There's a lot that your body intuitively is telling you. And because our intuition is so highlighted this month, we really need to make sure that we're listening to ourselves and what we need, so we don't have to kind of carry this energy past the point that it needs to be in our space, in our lives. We don't need to continue to give it time later on. We need to really be in the moment with things, especially with this in the solar plexus. You want to really be in the moment with things and not make things more difficult for yourself on an emotional level. Okay, now with the crown chakra, the Fool and Justice, there is this kind of wanting breath of fresh air, but also needing balance. But this month will kind of work out in a way that it'll show you in which areas you will need more balance within your space, whether it's showing you what and highlighting it's where you need to set up better intentions, or where you can mentally be working towards intentions, or where you need to stop talking about, oh, I know I need to do this, I haven't done it yet, all these things, and actually then doing the thing and planting the seed and following through with it. So there is a lot of progressive energy in here, where things can actually be a little bit more fresh and open, and not necessarily stuck in a way that's not beneficial, that's not intuitively in alignment with you, that's not gonna bring something positive or make you feel like you're feeling good, you're feeling pleasure, you're feeling relaxed, you're in this earthly kind of abundance. Like, it needs to feel like that. And so this energy of like balance and like create this new fresh start, go towards this new intention, towards this kind of new opportunity within yourself, where you can choose to set these intentions. You could take the power, you can take literally the power within your root chakra to set these intentions for yourself, plan for the future the way that you want, and actually execute it in a way that will bring this new kind of fresh energy. So you're not frustrated, you don't feel stuck, you don't feel like you're not following your path, you're not depressed because of it. And then you can then balance out the traumatic experiences that have come within what we've all been collectively going through. But don't sleep on the fact that this energy is looming there, because if you just like say, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna get to work and I'm just gonna focus on work and that's it, that's a blah 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 X, Y, and Z, because I do see a lot of Pentacles cards in here, so I already know you guys are hella grounded. My thing is, you still need to be balanced though, and your crown chakra, your upper chakras are really like, okay, we understand there is that craving and abundance, that craving of connecting with nature as well. This is a huge like level of just like, I just want to be within the earth, eat of fruits and see the abundance of the earth and feel that there is, while that energy is still there, there is still a balance that you need to be as fluid as you're kind of making yourself out to be within the physical realms, because there is a lot of fluidity, a lot of kind of air cards down here, and then you got some earthy cards up here as well. So there is just kind of like this fluidity, this balancing that's happening between your lower and upper chakras. However, you also need to look at your future mental health, your future emotional, spiritual health. How do you think you want to feel once this is all over? Are you good? Like, one of the things that honestly I can definitely say it's a huge Capricorn thing is that we hate to waste time. Are you going to feel like this whole entire time was wasted, or are you going to actively choose to do something with the time that you have right now? Like, there is, I honestly will co-sign that I hate wasting time. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's not fun. It's irritating. It makes me feel like I could have been doing something else. So are you going to make this into that experience where you're just like, you had time to maybe work on some other things, but you actually didn't do it, and now you're just like, after you come out of this, you're just like, oh, but look, now I have to do X, Y, and Z, and I could have been working on that B thing that I said that I wanted to do. So make sure you're putting in your priorities. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure you're acting with conviction with the things that you want to do as well. And be creative. I feel like there is a lot of creativity and a lot of like things that need to be communicated through you, through your energy as well. Capricorn energy, this whole entire reading is like also how Capricorn energy is like getting magnified through society right now, because we're very much impacting society in a big way. So how are you healing through this entire situation? How are you looking at the news and saying, you know what, even though other people will not treat people in this way, I'm going to make sure that when I go outside to do groceries, or when I go outside to I don't know, go to the park or whatever, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm playing my part, I'm doing my part, and so that way we can collectively move forward together. So there is just like a lot of empowering and powerful energy for you guys this month. I would say you just need to watch out for that third eye energy, because if you've just been reacting in the moment to things, and not thinking about the future the way we usually do, and not, looking at your feelings, or maybe you're just burying them down, it's gonna come back to haunt you later. So that's what I would work on for this month for you guys, looking at what you're thinking, listening to yourself, listening to your emotions, listening at your also I was gonna say your anger, and the reason for this, it's because I feel like, well, not only that, you also got the Ace of Wands in your heart chakra, but you have a lot of kind of fire energy in here, with Leo and Mars being like very kind of in this fire up kind of way, and being amplified, and having Mars being like so much so as a huge kind of force for you guys this month, as a planetary energy. When you look at your third eye, which is a wand card, it's ruled by fire. The wand suit is ruled by fire, and you look at all of the way that the fire is connecting throughout the reading, you see how it's really your anger that's going to kind of bubble over. It's almost like a pot that's just like, you boiled the water and you put stuff in it, and then maybe you forgot about it, and then come back and everything's just like boiling over the damn pot. That's how it's gonna be if you don't react to your emotions. You have to be more calculating, and this is why your sacral chakra is speaking the way it is. You have to be more calculating. You have to be very clear about your intentions, including the ones where you have to deal with your own energy as well. So just be mindful of that for this month. So that is your reading for this month. I will see you guys next month. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every time I make a video. And don't forget to check out the Patreon as well, because we're always growing and learning over there. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.